Hello everybody, welcome to episode 1 of this Factorio Let's Play. We're going to be playing with many a mod. I'll go ahead and kind of hold it here for a second. We've got Afraid of the Dark, some angels, definitely angels, auto research, belt sorter, blue build, bobs. So primarily it's a lot of angel and bobs. We got bottlenecks, some helpful little tools. I've gone ahead and disabled Factorissimo too. Normally I play with it in my solo games, but it feels a little too cheaty. So we're going to try and do it without that. Basically, if you don't know, Factorissimo lets you build these little buildings that then allow you to build inside of them and move them around. They keep the contents of their inventory, right? So like belts and machines and stuff. But the buildings are smaller on the outside than they are on the inside. So you actually get more space to work with inside of a smaller space in the world. We're throwing in nanobots is a good one. A lot of this was just me going through different Reddit posts and saying, hey, I'm new to Factorio mods. What is there that's great? And that's kind of where I came up with. So we're going to go ahead and hit play new game. We're going to do resource settings, everything's default. That's fine. We're going to do 985463 There we go. Why not? I should have just left it random. Ignore me, guys. Hopefully this doesn't generate the world's worst map. Okay, we're gonna close that. We know what we're doing. Let's look at what we got. So we got biter bases, nice and close, because why not? We've got the coal right here, which is fantastic. We got bobonium, sapphirite, rubyite, stereotyte. So for those of you who haven't played Bobs and Angels, I'll tell you what I do know, which really isn't that much. But stereotyte is copper by default, like it can be converted to copper. Bobonium is tin. Rubyite is lead. Sapphirite is iron. Coal is coal. I've never gotten to the phase oil or the natural gas. Water is water. Biters are biters. Life is annoying. There's a couple of other ores that I've seen in some of my other games, but I haven't really started using, such as geovolite. So I'm really excited to get messing in with that kind of stuff. I haven't had the opportunity to yet. So you'll see we start out with this ore crusher. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start by getting some iron up and running. So let me go ahead. Oh, let's not do that. That would be silly. So let me grab this iron axe. Just get some wood. Something to note, interestingly enough, Bobs is pretty important. Wood is pretty important in Bobs. So that's going to be super annoying. But let's look at the research here. You'll see we have a lot of research. So we can, like, there's stuff like algae processing, basic chemistry, adds tons of gases. There's metallurgy. You can like convert ores into like liquids and then cast them for better yields. Crushing and refining for geovolite, crotinium, rubyite, bobonium, crushed stone. You got, and then there's greenhouses. So this is what I wanted to show you specifically. So as we progress through the mod, again, wood is going to be a big deal. So we have access to these greenhouses that will help us produce wood consistently in an automated way, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and let's look at what we're going to be doing in terms of getting this set up. So we're going to just clear some of these trees again. The wood's going to be important. It's not super important right this second. For me, it's mostly just I like to have a nice cleared inventory. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the one thing I know for sure I'm going to want to adjust right now. I will explain handy hands in a minute for sure. I'll explain a lot of things I'm accidentally popping up right here. In fact, you know what? I need to fix that because otherwise I'm going to hit it a couple times. So Handy Hands U is also bound to Hell Mod, which is ruining life. So we'll do Control U. Nope, that's Upgrade Planner. Shift U. Okay, so Hell Mod, what Hell Mod lets me do is it allows me to set up production blocks. So I can say like, I can like estimate what's going to happen, right? So if let's say I'm processing iron. So I want to make iron. Oh, I didn't mean to do that one. So I'm going to add a recipe. And I'm going to say, you know what? I want to be making iron. And I'm going to be making it out of crushed sapphirite. So there it goes. So now I have this recipe here. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to say every 1 second. There, you can set it to like every 1 minute, every 5 minutes, so on and so forth. But every 1 second, I want 1 iron plate. And it'll go ahead and say, hey, if you're using a Mark II multi-purpose furnace, that's going to need 1 of them. So I'm not, because I just started. So we're going to go stone furnaces. So I need 4 stone furnaces to make, and 1.5 crushed sapphirite every second to make 1 iron plate. And then you can click on like crushed sapphirite and be like, okay, well, I can get that from, I can get that by crushing it by hand or crushing it in a crusher. So let's do that one. And again, it starts out at the highest level crusher. We don't have access to that, so let's switch it to burner. And then look at that. So 4 furnaces require 1.5 crushed sapphirite. 1 crusher can provide that 1.5 crushed sapphirite per second. It's also going to generate 0.8 crushed stone. And that's something we're going to have to deal with. A lot of angels and bobs is really cool, but it adds byproducts. And they get really annoying to deal with, for sure. We're going to need 1.5 sapphirite to crush. So let's go ahead and click that. And look at that. If we say, here's our burner mining drill, you need 5 burner mining drills to support 1 crusher, to support 4 stone furnaces, to accomplish 1 iron plate per second. Now, if I go back to my production line, right? So I can see, here's what I want. Clearly all these are burners, so they don't run on power, so it's not going to have any power cost. It's going to output 1 iron plate a second, and again, I can swap this. So let's go to 24. No, so I have to be in here. If I say 24, oh, sorry, it doesn't change the output. Never mind, my bad. But you'll see it puts out 1 iron and 1 crushed stone per 1 second. And it takes 1.5 sapphirite. So if you're setting up a belt or something, right, you can have a couple things in here. You can see exactly of how much of everything you're going to need. It also helps with, it's primarily to help with ratios, right? So we know that we need this sapphirite. We're going to crush it and we're going to burn it. So we need 4 of these for 1 crusher. So let's look at this crusher. We're going to kind of put it on the sapphirite, mostly so I can have a lot of these coming in, right? Because we need 5. So 1, oops. 1, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll only need 4 of these. So let's do 1. That's so annoying. Oh, I know what that is. There we go. Blue build. I do not, blue build basically, I meant to turn blue build off actually. So let me go to options, mods, blue build. Let's disable that. And see if that fixes it. Nope, that did not fix it. So what blue build does, I forgot that I had that on, sorry. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Okay, so we are back. So basically, let me finish explaining what blue build did. What blue build would do is when I would place down a blueprint like that, if I had it turned on, which I did by default, right? What it would do for me is it would automatically place things. And so like you don't need bots, which clearly is about as cheaty as Factorissimo. Again, when I play solo, I'm more focused on other things. I'm more focused on learning, so I don't care about that kind of stuff. But for this Let's Play, I wanted to try and be as legit as possible. The only mod that I'm aware that I still have on that I would consider a little cheaty is Inner Reach Everything, I believe it's called. So for example, I have some of this wood, right? So let me put some there, there, and there. Change this to start crushing sapphirite. So it's going to start filling up on sapphirite. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit control on that. Now watch this. So if I go really far away and I zoom out, I can still put this. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. From where I'm at right now, I can go ahead and put that in there. I don't want to say it's like required, because it's clearly not required for bobs or angels, but it's a huge quality of life thing. It's going to make this a lot easier for me as I'm running around dealing with all the different ores that we have. So I'm going to have that on. So if you see me reaching distances that you don't expect me to be able to reach, that's probably where that's coming from. So what we want to do to start out here, right, is we're going to want to start getting coal automated. That's usually the first thing that we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting coal automated, and that is important because we want to go ahead and be able to provide the coal for everything. So we're going to clear off this coal patch while I describe how we're going to do that. So we're going to use burner drills. If you play Minecraft, wow, I cannot believe I just did that. Just ignore that happened. If you've played Factorio before, you no doubt have seen the burning drill trick, where you basically, as you noticed up there, which we should have enough iron to go grab some stuff right now. So let's go ahead and head back up. So you can see the arrows, right, on these burner drills. So that's where they push their output. So this is going to mine in. It's going to push it here, which is fantastic. Then we're going to take the output from that, cook it up as iron. And you'll see we have this crushed stone. Crushed stone gets converted to normal stone, which we will then make into burner. And get the rest of that because, yeah, see, we're already out of coal. That's no bueno. So let's go ahead and put some more wood in there. Not all of it, but some of it. And wait for the last two of these. So these arrows are going to push their output. So if we were to take a couple of these and push the coal from them into each other. So now I have two, and I'll show you what I mean, because it's super easy and super awesome. So let's go ahead and do this. So we'll put that there and that there. So you see how they're feeding into each other. We'll put one wood in one of them, which will power it long enough to produce coal. That coal gets put in here, which starts that up. Its coal gets put in here, and I can grab it out like this. There you go. So we've already got coal automated. As long as we don't drain too much of it, it should just keep on going. Happy day. When I play, we're going to go ahead and filter coal here just because we use it so often for starting out. So it just makes a lot of sense to go ahead and put that there. Let's go ahead and put that iron there. Let's get another burner. As soon as we have a fourth burner, what we can go ahead and do is move or build a circle of them, right? So this one feeding some other, or this one feeding that one feeding this one feeding that one, and just, you know, a nice little redundant circle. So if we go ahead and we look at what we have here, I'm just cutting some wood down while I'm just deciding what we're going to be doing. So the bobonium is tin to start out with, and the rubyite is lead, so I was right on that, which feels good, unless I wasn't, which feels bad. Comments will let me know for sure. The stereotype is copper by default, and you'll notice I can sort it and smelt into iron, and we'll get into that eventually, but I mentioned that Bob's throws in, or Angels and Bob's throw in a lot of byproducts. Well, those byproducts can be other ores. For example, iron. So now we have those. We're going to come back up here. We've got all that coal. How are we doing for wood up here? We got 25 wood in this, cooking along. Grab that in there, grab those plates. There we go. So now it's a fourth burner drill. So normally with my coal, I focus on the 4, right? I focus on getting 4 burner drills feeding into each other. So that one's going to go down, that one's left, that one's up, that one's right. And again, You'll watch as soon as this one produces a coal, it'll go in there. As soon as that produces a coal, it'll go in there, which repeats the circle. There we go. That'll produce enough coal for our initial needs. So now we can focus on increasing this. Because we're going to definitely be wanting... Oh, and we have coal now, so we can just go ahead and put 25 coal in there. We're going to grab the other half of it because we're getting ready to build another burner. And when we get there, we're going to want to... Oh, there's the other burner. Put that coal in there. So now we've got 2 burners for building or feeding into this, which means this should be running pretty smoothly. Something to note is that we don't really have... Oh, I didn't... Okay, good. Whew. Dodged a bullet. So let's go ahead and build some transport belts. And the reason for this will become very apparent in a second. I'm going to go ahead and build... So we're going to have inserters here, and then we'll have this belt right here. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, right? So we'll go ahead and move this. Put some wood in there, put some sapphirite. Grab that sapphirite, run it through there. See, do we have enough for another burner? We do. So the goal is going to get this to just fill up on... sorry, not fill up, but in terms, just get everything as fast as we can. So again, with long reach, as soon as I get relatively close to this, I can just go ahead and loot all that, which is great. And then we'll run back up here, and we're going to take the wood out of here and put 60 coal in there, except not. So let's spread the coal like that. Grab some more iron. We're getting pretty close to our, next burner drill. Oh, we can build both of them. So this will fully saturate this. Let's do that, and in a moment it'll be ready. Oops. There we go. Yep. And then we're going to just take the coal and split half of it between those two. So that's going to be 11 and 10. This should now basically be running nonstop, assuming that our numbers were right, which, as we can see, everything is green. This is having some troubles with its output. No, it's still input blocked. So the color in the bottom left is a mod called Bottleneck, and it's basically showing me where the bottleneck. Green is everything's working a-okay, processing is fine. Red is it is currently input blocked, meaning it's not getting enough input to produce output. I didn't mean to do that. Let's put that back. Yellow means it's not getting stuff out fast enough to, or it's blocking up by filling up. So let's go ahead and build 4 more of these. So I have a mod, I forget which one it's called. Somebody recommended it to me. It saves lives. Let's see if I can find it for you guys, so that if you decide to play with mods, you get it. Picker Extended. This is basically the best thing ever. So I can just click on things and get like a blueprint of them like this. Control Q is doing that. Alt Q crafts one. It's got all sorts of functionality that just make life a lot easier to work with. So let me grab all that coal. One of those looked yellow for a second. Oh, we're good. So let's go ahead and head back up here. We now have a bunch of coal. Let's distribute it amongst all that. Let's grab that. We can evenly distribute all that amongst there. Okay, so now we need to worry about iron. So let's start worrying about iron. So let's get another ore crusher. Let's go ahead and get another 4 furnaces. Or sorry, I said iron. I meant copper. So we need to go over to that stereotype. That is... Oops, not that. That is a failed plan that I did not mean to do. So let's grab all those. We're going to need 5 of them. So we'll go ahead and build 5. And then we're going to build 3 of these. and we will clear some of this wood off real quick. So let's do kind of the same thing. And again, we're gonna try and optimize this as we go, but for now, we're gonna put this right here. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is going to be stereotype. So now we're just going to say, you know, take all of the coal I have, evenly distributed amongst everything, which isn't going to be much, but it'll work for now. With this, we can get at least one more of the furnaces, so we have an equal amount. So now, I didn't think that through. Let me go grab some of this. Not that. There we go. So let me put the coal in there, but I don't want that much coal in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill those up. Let's grab this and fill those up as soon as I get within distance. Yep. Oh yeah, we're producing a lot. Okay. Well, this is good. This is great. Let's do this. We're at a good point. So let's go ahead and start getting boilers and steam engines and get some initial power running in through here. The steam engines, for those of you who don't know yet, the latest patch, the ratio is 1 pump feeds 10 boilers, feeds 20 steam engines. So we're going to just do that. Where should we do that? So the coal's here. I'm going to probably want to do a bus, and I'm probably going to go down with the bus. So you don't need to understand what everything means right this second. If you do, then fantastic. If not, then just stick with me. We're going to go places. But to start with, I need to get coal. So we'll do a bunch of refining. So we'll just run the engines right here. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's look at what it will look like. So we have inserters. We have the belt, second row of inserters, and then the second engine. And then let's do that. Now we're going to grab a blueprint and copy those. And we're going to leave a wood space between. Just like that. And then put that there. Let's get some pipes. So we're just gonna grab like a bunch of iron pipes, grab that. We're gonna distribute all that coal. It's only 9 coal per thing, but that's okay. Let's wow, there we go. Yep, and then that'll go there, and that goes there. So now I'll show you handy tools. So we're gonna build one of these. So we're going to move this here. We're going to filter it, meaning whenever we get small electric poles, we want it to go here. If we hold this in our hand and hit U, it's going to open up the upgrade planner config, which is fantastic, but it's also going to increase the amount of these that we want to keep to 10. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Options, controls, mods. Our upgrader. Show hide upgrader button. So this we're just gonna do like Control Shift U. Yeah. Because I can just use that. So there we go. So this is gonna be 10 items. So basically what it's gonna do is if we have less than 10 of these, which we are about to have, because I'm gonna go place some. So if we do that, and then we come over here, and we're gonna use those in a moment. So we have 4 of them. We can't craft more because we don't have any copper. But if I come over here, actually let's get some coal first because we obviously need it. So let's grab all that coal. Let's make our way downtown. Up here, we'll just evenly distribute all that coal. So let's grab this. Let's cook some up. And as soon as we get some copper, you'll see what I mean. So, yep, there we go. So now that we have some copper in inventory, it's going to start crafting. It's going to say, hey, you said you wanted 10. You don't have 10. Let me get you back up to 10. To which I am thankful. So now I can show you where hell mod is just the best. So let's go ahead and start cooking those up because we know we're going to want it. So open up hell mod and let's go in here. So now we're saying, you know what? I think we're ready for an electric drill. So we'll click on that. Now you'll notice we only need 3 electric drills to every 1 crusher to every 4 furnaces. So let's go ahead and stay there, and we can come down here and we can start thinking about this. So we've got enough to make 1. Again, we're really the copper. It's copper. Copper is getting us in a really bad way right now. So let's go ahead and grab all that. And let's go ahead and make 2 more of these. And you know what? I have this, but I'm actually going to want to move that. So let's go ahead and just pick all this up. The miners do not take that. They take the basic circuit boards, which is using wood. So let's go ahead and move this. We're going to put this probably right... You know, actually, this is a good time to show another super awesome mod called Outpost Planner. So what Outpost Planner lets us do is, let's say, so we have this, right? We want to make sure that we're going to get 100% coverage on this because we don't want to miss anything when we clear this out. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves an Outpost Planner. We're going to open up the config. We're going to say we want this to exit on the west side. So let's click here. That's the output direction, as you can see, the number of output belts you can do. We're just going to want 1 output belt. And then we can take our Outpost Planner and draw it around all the resources that we want. And it's going to do that. Minus these things are in our way. So actually, let's grab a new deconstruction. Let's do that. And we'll go ahead and pick all this up, because I don't want to deal with those problems. So here we go, one more time. Let's go ahead and grab everything here. And it's going to tell us where everything goes. And as you can see, it's going to put it into 1 output line, which we are then going to, for now, just put here, this crusher. And then we're going to have, again, inserters pulling off, pulling on, and pulling and pushing in. There's our 4 little burners. Let's go ahead and take this coal and redistribute it like that. And then take the crushed sapphire we already have, put it there. Take the sapphire we don't have and put it in here. The raw sapphire that we have. We should have 3 of these little puppies that we've cooked up. And to make life really easy, we're going to just do 1, 2, 3. And now if we go ahead and we place these, and we're going to place them where they will go instead of where I need them right this second, just so we get coverage and it hooks it all up, which is super nice. And put that there. So these should be getting power if I had coal up here. So let's go on down and pick up some coal. And then we're going to just put a whole 200 in there. That should get those starting to produce. Why is it not? Hold on. What did I do? I clearly did something wrong. That's connected. Let's get rid of this so I can see this better. Yep, that's connected. That's connected. That's connected. Oh, they're all, yeah, the yellow. See the yellow? They're all output blocked. They're all output blocked because I don't actually have transport belts going anywhere. So I'm going to need 3 of these. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And I'll show you why. So let's go ahead and get this moving along. And again, we're doing this one first because I don't need... I don't have access to splitters. So there we go. And then we're going to stop building these because I actually don't need that many. I'm just a bad counter in my head. We're going to get some of these inserters and we're going to show you. We're going to do 3 pulling in, 3 pulling out, 2 going into each of these. You know what? Actually, I lied. So here's what we're gonna. So here's the reason why. So we got to deal with this crushed stone, right? I mean, it's an inevitability. I don't have filter inserters yet, so getting the crushed stone out of there is going to be really annoying. So what I want to do, really, is I want to do 1, 2, and then I want to come over here and do 3, 4. And that will give us a nice gap here. And then, I don't have it actually. I don't have it yet. That's okay though. We can still work with this. So let's go ahead and put that in. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. We'll go ahead and put this stuff down, just like that. You'll see it start pulling it in here. You'll see though that we have this stone, so it's not actually gonna. It's not actually gonna pull anything out from here. So let's go ahead and what do I want to do with that stone? So we can use Bob's adjustable inserters to do diagonal or corner drops. So what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to build 2 more of these. We're going to need automation. So automation is only 5 red science. Science works a little differently in Bob's. I believe this is Bob's doing it. Yep. So let's go get some copper and I'll show you science. Can I reach there yet? Nope. I think the distance that you can reach increases over time because I feel like I could usually reach there. Okay, so we're going to build an electromagnetism lab. This is pretty normal. The way that it works is the electromagnetism lab takes in just reds. The electrochemics lab, which is an upgrade, takes in red and green, but that's it. And I haven't actually gotten past these, so you'll have to learn with me when I get there. Another useful thing is everything associated with science is right here. So reds just take electromagnetic cores and electromagnetic coils. The cores just take iron, the coils just take copper, but it's right here. The greens take Atmos instructions and Atmos reaction nodes. The nodes take copper, or the electromagnetic coils and iron plates. Wafers take iron plates, which turn into micro wafers, which turn into microcircuits, which turn into Atmos instrumentation. So everything that you need for science is in this page. Super easy to get at, super nice. So let's go ahead and build 1 science outpost. While we do that, let's go ahead and empty out all that. And again, we got to grab that. And as you see, if I don't get rid of this stone, which is a byproduct, and we're going to have to deal with it, it's going to gum up the system. And that's kind of one of the challenges of Angel's mods. It's a lot of fun. It's a good challenge, but it's definitely, it has its moments, we'll say. We're going to want to, our next step, by the way, after we get the science and get this going nonstop so that I don't have to babysit it. Once we get that going the way we want, we're going to need to get this coal coming up and into here. Now, I run with a mod called electric furnaces because I can't, my simpleton brain does not fully comprehend all the amazing ways that people get coal and ores onto the same line. Like, if I'm just being frank, I'm just not. You'd think I'd be able to do it. I have. So I use electric stone furnaces. So I have electric furnaces going up and even more tiers of electric furnaces at the top end. So as soon as I can, we're going to go to this. It's a little ways off, but for now, we don't want to rely too heavily on mined coal feeding into processing of ores and stuff if we can avoid it. We'll probably do a really simple solution for like the first couple of ores, but we'll get away from that when we need to. But the electric stone furnaces will replace that, in which case most, if not all, of our coal will need to come here for processing power, for making more power. So let's go ahead and throw these 5 in there. That's going to go really quick. The automation, again, not a particularly expensive research. Preemptively, let's grab some. I already have so many. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to grab some of those. We're going to grab this. And we're going to go ahead and do something like this. And then we'll just, I know we're on top of the, oh my gosh, I didn't actually see that. Well, okay, that's why we have this. So let's grab our cut tool. Let's just grab this whole thing. And we're just going to move it right here. Yep. So we know we need to dismantle all this stuff. I don't want the power generation on the bobonium. That's going to be obnoxious. So let's go ahead and do that. I think we'll need one more. That one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there. So let's go ahead and build that, that, and that. We're going to need some iron tubes. So we'll go ahead and grab a bunch of those. We have squeeze through, so a lot of the hitboxes that normally would be unpassable, we can pass through. So we won't need to duck as many pipes, which I actually kind of like. I kind of like not having to duck all the pipes. The only reason we would have to duck pipes is to make sure that they don't overlap with each other, which I think is actually a pretty fun little task, to make sure they don't overlap with each other. Okay, so we're back in business. Let's go ahead and grab, we need one more of these, and then we're going to probably need like 2 of them and an iron chest, and I'll show you what we're going to do. We also have automation now, so let's go ahead and grab an assembling machine, another iron chest, and 2 more of these. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull off right here. So we're going to pull off the iron. It's going to go on the far side of this belt, saturate it right here. We're going to pull here and here, and then we're going to come here and pull this one. And then we're going to build this here, and then we're going to build this here, and this one's going to go there. Now let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to we're going to pull from this machine, and we're going to drop it to the left on this assembler, which I will set to build stone. So the only thing that's going to be allowed to come in here is crushed stone, which will get refined into stone, and then the same thing here. We're going to pull it. We're going to pull it out of here, and drop it in this chest. And here we're going to pull and drop to the left, and pull and drop to the right, and we're going to put a chest right here, because I don't think one of these will keep up with all 4 of these. So let's go ahead and connect everything up. So we'll do that there. We'll do one probably there. Get rid of that one. Put this there. Get rid of that one. Yep. Put this here and there and there. And if the world's working, everything should eventually catch back up. So this, I don't care if this gets output blocked. As you can see, it's not getting enough crushed stone to constantly make crushed stone, which is fine. That's okay. As long as these are constantly running green, dumping in here, bringing it into this chest, I think we're actually in a fantastic spot, and I am a-okay with that. So, we're going to go ahead and throw a cut in right here. And next time we will basically be running coal up here, and then we'll do something similar to what we did here for this one, for the stereotyte, the rubyite, and the bobonium. And again, these are really close together, and I'm obviously overlapping on the bobonium, so we're going to need to figure out a better way to do this. Because eventually, like I said, we're going to want to bring all these ores down to some central location for processing, and then onto a bus. And I've always done this, so I'm going to try not to do it this time, but I've always ended up building my processing in such a way that I couldn't expand it. There's a lot of things that we're going to get access to that are going to be big honking machines that we are going to want to be able to build around. Or upgrade to, but we're not going to be able to if I pull an idiot like I have in the past. If I pull a perpetual mess, it's going to be bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on making sure I don't do that and getting us set up with some awesomeness. But thank you so much for checking this out. If you like what you see, go ahead and follow. Click the subscribe button. You know, everyone's favorite button, mostly my favorite button, because it means people like me and I like to be liked. But yeah, feel free to follow and subscribe, and I will see you next time.